Approximately 7.5 million years ago, much of Africa consisted of dense forest environments. Gradual climate changes led to the expansion of grasslands and savanna ecosystems. The expansion of grasslands altered the available resources and habitats. Savanna expansion resulted in shifts in species distribution and ecological dynamics. The transition from forests to savannas impacted the evolutionary pathways of various species. Climate change acted as a key driver in the transformation of African ecosystems. Apes, adapted to arboreal life, evolved flexible shoulders for swinging and grasping hands for navigating tree branches. Flexible shoulders in apes allow for a wide range of motion, essential for brachiation and overhead reaching. Grasping hands in apes provide the dexterity needed to manipulate objects and maintain a secure grip on branches. Early hominins began developing adaptations for bipedalism, including changes in pelvic structure for upright posture. Bipedalism in early hominins led to changes in leg length and bone structure for efficient walking. The transition to bipedalism involved a complex interplay of skeletal adaptations in the pelvis and lower limbs. As forests receded, some apes transitioned to more open environments. This environmental shift necessitated new survival strategies. Increased reliance on terrestrial locomotion became crucial for survival. Terrestrial locomotion allowed for more efficient foraging in open landscapes. Adapting to terrestrial life also facilitated predator avoidance in open areas. The transition to terrestrial locomotion marked a significant evolutionary adaptation. Ape and hominin skulls exhibit differences in cranial capacity and dental structure. Early hominins possessed smaller canines compared to apes. Hominin brain size gradually increased over evolutionary time. Skull morphology provides key insights into hominin evolution. Dental structure differences reflect dietary adaptations in hominins. Cranial capacity is a primary indicator of cognitive development in hominins. Bipedalism provides enhanced visibility in open environments, aiding in predator detection. Standing upright frees the hands, enabling the carrying of food and tools. The ability to carry resources improves survival and adaptation in changing environments. Improved visibility and manual dexterity contribute to increased awareness and resourcefulness. Bipedalism facilitates efficient navigation and resource transport across open terrains. Ape feet are adapted for grasping branches, facilitating arboreal locomotion. Hominin feet evolved a rigid arch for efficient bipedal walking and running on the ground. The flexible ape foot allows for prehensile grasping, while the rigid hominin foot provides stability and efficient energy transfer. Evolutionary adaptations in foot structure reflect different locomotion strategies. Arboreal versus terrestrial. Access to water sources became crucial for early hominins in drier savanna environments. Early hominins developed strategies for locating water resources. Hominins utilized available water resources for survival. Water access influenced hominin settlement patterns. Competition for water resources may have shaped social structures. The ability to find and use water was essential for hominin adaptation and evolution. Analysis of fossil teeth provides insights into the dietary habits of early hominins. Bone isotope analysis complements dental evidence in reconstructing ancient diets. Early hominin diets likely included fruits, roots, and tubers. Changing landscapes influence the availability and composition of early hominin diets. Dietary reconstruction combines fossil evidence with environmental context to understand early hominin ecology. Social structures played a crucial role in the survival of early hominin groups. Group dynamics influenced resource acquisition and defense against threats. Cooperation within groups enhanced the efficiency of hunting and gathering activities. Communication facilitated coordinated actions and knowledge transfer among group members. Complex social interactions led to the development of rudimentary social hierarchies. Effective group dynamics increased the likelihood of survival and reproductive success. Genetic studies suggest the hominin and ape lineages diverged approximately 7 to 8 million years ago. This divergence timeline is supported by fossil evidence, providing a consistent view of human evolution. The genetic divergence represents a critical juncture in the evolutionary history of humans. Understanding this divergence helps to clarify the evolutionary relationships between humans and other primates. Competition for resources in a changing environment can drive adaptation. Environmental changes may lead to diversification within the hominin lineage. Resource scarcity can act as a selective pressure, favoring individuals with advantageous traits. Adaptation and diversification are key responses to environmental challenges. Over time, hominin brain size gradually increased. This increase in brain size potentially led to enhanced cognitive abilities. Enhanced cognitive abilities facilitated improved problem-solving skills. The evolution of larger brains is correlated with the development of more complex tools. Increased brain size may have also contributed to the development of social structures and communication. The gradual increase in hominin brain size represents a key evolutionary adaptation. The utilization of rudimentary tools, such as stones, potentially conferred a survival advantage to early hominins. Simple tools like stones could be employed to access resources, such as nuts and bones, that were otherwise inaccessible. The ability to crack bones with stones allowed early hominins to access nutrient-rich marrow. Access to enhanced nutrition through tool use may have contributed to the cognitive development of early hominins. The competitive advantage gained from tool use likely influenced the evolutionary trajectory of early hominin species. The fossil record offers a fragmented glimpse into early hominin evolution. Fossils reveal a mosaic of ancestral and derived traits in early hominins. The fossil record provides valuable, though incomplete, information about hominin development. Early stages of hominin evolution are documented through fossil evidence. Hominin evolution is characterized by a combination of both old and new characteristics. The fossil record is essential for understanding the progression of hominin traits. Reconstructing ancient landscapes provides insights into the ecological pressures influencing early hominin evolution. Understanding past environments helps to reveal the adaptive challenges faced by early hominins. Ecological factors such as climate change and resource availability played a crucial role in shaping hominin traits. Landscape reconstruction involves analyzing geological data, fossil evidence, and paleobotanical remains. By recreating past environments, researchers can test hypotheses about hominin behavior and adaptation. Reconstructed landscapes provide a tangible context for understanding the deep history of human evolution. Simulating climate changes provides insights into the environmental context of hominin evolution. Climate simulations reveal the impact of environmental shifts on vegetation patterns. Vegetation pattern changes are crucial for understanding hominin adaptation and survival. These simulations help scientists understand how past climate changes influenced human ancestors. Early hominins faced threats from predators in the open savanna environment. Bipedalism may have offered early hominins an advantage in spotting predators from a distance. Group living provided a collective defense mechanism against predators. Increased awareness and coordinated defense enhanced survival rates for hominin groups. Predator-prey dynamics shaped the evolutionary pressures on early hominins. The open savanna environment presented both opportunities and dangers for early hominins. Hominin hand evolution led to increased dexterity. Greater dexterity facilitated more precise object manipulation. Enhanced hand morphology enabled the development and use of tools. Key features of hominin hand evolution include increased thumb opposability and finger length. The precision grip, enabled by hand evolution, is essential for fine motor tasks. Comparative analysis reveals significant differences in hand structure between hominins and other primates. Early hominin migration patterns were influenced by environmental changes. Expanding ranges led early hominins to encounter new ecological challenges. Migration facilitated adaptation to diverse environments. Changing climates prompted early hominins to seek new territories and resources. The search for resources drove early hominin migration. Social learning involves the acquisition of behaviors through observation and imitation of others. Cultural transmission refers to the passing of knowledge and skills from one generation to the next. Social learning and cultural transmission can accelerate the spread of new behaviors and technologies. The spread of new behaviors and technologies within hominin groups may be influenced by social learning. Cultural transmission may have played a role in the spread of new behaviors and technologies within hominin groups. These processes may have been critical for hominin adaptation and survival. The controlled use of fire provided early hominins with warmth. Fire offered protection from predators to early hominin groups. Cooking food with fire provided early hominins with a crucial dietary advantage. The controlled use of fire by early hominins was not yet widespread. Fire management represents a key technological advancement for early hominins. Wear patterns on fossil teeth provide insights into the diet of early hominins. Analyzing tooth wear reveals the types of food consumed by ancient humans. Dental wear analysis can indicate the processing techniques used on food by early hominins. Microscopic analysis of tooth surfaces enhances the precision of wear pattern identification. Comparative analysis of dental wear across different hominin species reveals dietary adaptations. Wear patterns reflect the mechanical properties of food items and their impact on tooth enamel. Reconstructing early hominin campsites provides insights into their daily lives. Campsite layouts reveal social interactions among early hominins. Resource management strategies are evident through campsite organization and tool distribution. Analysis of spatial arrangements within campsites informs understanding of hominin behavior. Insights from reconstructed campsites enhance knowledge of early hominin adaptation and survival. Comparing human and ape genomes helps identify genetic changes during hominin divergence. Genome comparison reveals evolutionary changes that distinguish humans from apes. Genetic differences between humans and apes provide insights into human evolution. Analyzing genomes allows researchers to trace the genetic history of hominin species. Comparative genomics identifies genetic adaptations that contributed to human uniqueness. Genome sequencing provides a detailed understanding of the genetic basis of human evolution. Early hominins adapted physiologically to survive at higher altitudes. Living at higher altitudes requires adaptations to cope with lower oxygen levels. Physiological adaptations include increased red blood cell production for enhanced oxygen transport. Adaptations also involve increased lung capacity and more efficient oxygen utilization. These adaptations allowed early hominins to thrive in challenging high-altitude environments. Analysis of fossil bone internal structure reveals insights into early hominin biomechanics. Bone structure analysis provides information about locomotion methods used by early hominins. The internal structure of fossil bones reflects the stresses experienced during the hominin's life. Analyzing bone density variations reveals adaptations to different environmental conditions. Computational models simulate stress patterns on fossil bones to infer muscle attachments and usage. Microscopic analysis of bone tissue provides clues about growth rates and dietary habits. Early hominins developed water acquisition techniques to survive in arid environments. Collecting and storing water was crucial for hominin survival. Simple tools and natural resources were used for water collection and storage. Water acquisition strategies enabled hominins to inhabit otherwise uninhabitable regions. Early hominin communication likely involved a combination of gestures and vocalizations. Gestural communication may have preceded and facilitated the development of complex vocal language. Theories suggest that specific brain regions evolved to support both gestural and vocal communication. Environmental and social pressures may have driven the increasing complexity of early language systems. Comparative studies of primate communication provide insights into the origins of human language. Early hominins sometimes sought shelter in caves. Caves provided protection from predators. Caves offered refuge from harsh weather conditions. Cave dwelling provided a survival advantage for early hominins. Early hominins faced new pathogens due to environmental changes, driving the evolution of disease resistance. Genetic mutations provided varying degrees of resistance, influencing survival and reproductive success. Natural selection favored individuals with enhanced immune responses, leading to adaptive disease resistance. The evolution of disease resistance is a continuous process shaped by the interplay between host genetics and pathogen virulence. Early hominins developed cooperative hunting strategies to improve their chances of success. The use of tools, such as sharpened stones and wooden spears, significantly enhanced hunting effectiveness. Simulations allow researchers to analyze the impact of different hunting techniques on prey capture rates. Successful cooperative hunts provided early hominins with essential resources for survival and social development. Early hominins employed percussion flaking, striking a core stone with a hammerstone to detach flakes. Direct percussion involves striking the core stone directly with a hammerstone to create desired flake shapes. Indirect percussion uses a punch or chisel between the hammerstone and core to control flake removal more precisely. Pressure flaking involves applying controlled pressure with a pointed tool to detach small flakes for fine shaping and retouching. Early hominin groups exhibited social hierarchies that influenced access to resources and mating opportunities. Dominance relationships within these groups were often established and maintained through displays of physical strength and social signaling. Social signaling, including vocalizations and gestures, played a crucial role in reinforcing the social hierarchy. Higher-ranking individuals typically had preferential access to food resources, contributing to their survival and reproductive success. Social hierarchies also influenced mating opportunities, with dominant individuals often having greater access to potential mates. Understanding these social dynamics provides insights into the evolutionary pressures shaping early hominin behavior and social structure. Genetic drift is a mechanism of evolution in which allele frequencies of a population change over generations due to chance. This random change in allele frequencies can lead to some alleles becoming more common and others becoming less common over time. Genetic drift has a greater effect on smaller populations, where chance events can have a larger impact. Bottleneck events, where a population size is drastically reduced, can accelerate the effects of genetic drift. Founder effect, another form of genetic drift, occurs when a small group of individuals colonizes a new area. Early hominins relied on environmental cues for navigation in unfamiliar landscapes. Observing the sun's path was crucial for maintaining direction during the day. Wind direction and its effects on vegetation provided directional information. Star constellations served as reliable guides for nighttime navigation. Landmarks, such as distinctive rock formations, aided in remembering routes. Combining multiple navigation techniques increased accuracy and efficiency. Cognitive maps are internal representations of spatial environments, aiding navigation and spatial reasoning. One theory suggests early hominins formed cognitive maps through exploration and repeated exposure to their surroundings. Another theory proposes that landmark recognition played a crucial role in cognitive map development. Cognitive maps enable efficient route planning, adaptation to environmental changes, and communication of spatial knowledge. Early hominin parental care involved significant investment in offspring survival. Prolonged infant dependency necessitated cooperative care strategies within hominin groups. Carrying infants was crucial for hominin mothers, influencing bipedal locomotion and social structures. The development of tools and shelters aided in protecting hominin offspring from environmental threats. Hormones play a crucial role in influencing the behavior of early hominins. Hormonal influences affect various aspects of hominin behavior, including social interactions and survival instincts. The endocrine system regulates hormone production, impacting hominin responses to environmental stimuli. Changes in hormone levels can lead to adaptations in hominin behavior, enhancing their chances of survival and reproduction. Early hominin emotional expressions played a crucial role in social communication. Facial expressions conveyed information about internal states and intentions within early hominin groups. Simulating these expressions helps understand the evolution of social bonds and group cohesion. Emotional displays facilitated cooperation, resource sharing, and threat response among hominins. Understanding the nuances of these expressions provides insights into the development of human language. Modern simulations allow researchers to analyze the impact of specific emotional signals on group dynamics. Memory formation in early hominin brains involves encoding, storage, and retrieval processes. Encoding transforms sensory information into a neural code that the brain can process. Storage consolidates encoded information, stabilizing it for long-term retention. Retrieval reactivates stored neural patterns, allowing access to past experiences and knowledge. These memory mechanisms are fundamental for learning, adaptation, and survival in early hominins. Early hominins faced challenges such as finding food, water, and shelter in diverse environments. Tool use, such as creating stone tools, enabled early hominins to hunt more effectively and process food. Cooperative hunting strategies allowed hominins to take down larger prey and increase their chances of survival. Developing shelter from natural elements provided protection and improved survival rates for early hominins. Innovation in early hominin tool use involved iterative design improvements based on practical experience. Creative problem-solving allowed early hominins to adapt tools for diverse environmental challenges. The development of new tool-making techniques fostered cognitive and behavioral advancements in hominin populations. Early hominin innovation relied on observation, experimentation, and knowledge transfer within social groups. Early hominins adapted to seasonal changes in resource availability to ensure survival. Seasonal migration allowed hominins to follow food sources and avoid harsh environmental conditions. Developing diverse foraging strategies enabled hominins to exploit a wider range of available food sources throughout the year. Technological innovations, such as tools for digging and hunting, enhanced hominins' ability to adapt to changing environments. Sleep patterns significantly influence cognitive functions in early hominins. Adequate sleep is essential for memory consolidation and learning processes in hominin brains. Disrupted sleep cycles can impair attention, problem-solving, and decision-making abilities. The correlation between sleep duration and cognitive performance reveals an optimal sleep range for peak efficiency. Comparative analysis of sleep architecture across different hominin species provides insights into cognitive evolution. Early hominins employed cooperative strategies to defend against predators. Forming a defensive circle allowed for enhanced vigilance and collective response. Cooperative defense increased the chances of survival against larger, more powerful predators. These strategies included vocalizations and the use of tools as defensive weapons. Bipedalism, while freeing the hands, required significant skeletal and muscular adaptations. Increased brain size provided cognitive advantages, but demanded higher energy consumption. Evolutionary trade-offs involve balancing benefits and costs across different traits. These trade-offs shaped human evolution, influencing survival and reproductive success. Early hominin tool use influenced environmental resources, creating feedback loops. Deforestation for fuel and shelter altered local ecosystems, impacting hominin survival strategies. Hunting practices affected animal populations, leading to adaptations in both hominin hunting techniques and prey behavior. Climate change events triggered migration patterns, influencing hominin distribution and genetic diversity. Gene culture coevolution theories explore how genes and culture interact to shape human behavior. Cultural transmission can alter selective pressures, influencing the evolution of genes related to cultural traits. Lactose tolerance is a classic example of gene culture coevolution, where dairy farming practices favored the spread of lactase persistence genes. Cultural innovations like cooking have reduced selection pressures on certain genes, such as those related to digestion. Gene culture coevolution can lead to complex feedback loops, where cultural practices and genetic predispositions reinforce each other. Early hominins employed various resource management strategies to ensure survival in challenging environments. Seasonal migration was a key strategy, allowing hominins to follow available food and water sources. Tool use enhanced hominins' ability to acquire and process resources more efficiently. Social cooperation and knowledge sharing improved resource management through collective efforts. Controlled use of fire provided warmth, protection, and improved food digestibility, aiding survival. Demographic modeling simulates population changes in early hominins to understand their genetic diversity. Population size, migration patterns, and environmental factors are key parameters in hominin demographic models. Simulated demographic changes directly impact the genetic diversity within early hominin populations. Analyzing simulated genetic diversity helps reconstruct the evolutionary history and adaptation of early hominins. Early hominins demonstrated long-distance travel capabilities, facilitating the exploration of new territories. These migrations involved traversing diverse landscapes, showcasing adaptability and resilience. The ability to travel long distances was crucial for accessing resources and expanding habitable zones. Simulations help understand the environmental pressures and adaptive strategies of early hominin migrations. Social network analysis provides tools to understand the structure of relationships within groups. Network analysis can be applied to early hominin social structures to infer interaction patterns and group dynamics. Centrality measures in social networks indicate the importance of individuals within a group. Analyzing network density reveals the level of interconnectedness and cohesion within a social group. Social network analysis helps reconstruct early hominin social behaviors and evolutionary adaptations. Early hominins likely employed non-violent strategies to resolve conflicts and maintain group harmony. One conflict resolution method involved displays of dominance without physical aggression. Sharing resources and cooperative activities were crucial for minimizing disputes among early hominins. Social grooming served as a mechanism to reduce tension and reinforce social bonds. Successful conflict resolution promoted social cohesion, enhancing the survival and reproductive success of the group. Altruism and cooperation were crucial for survival in early hominin societies. Kin selection, where individuals favor relatives, is one mechanism promoting altruistic behavior. Reciprocal altruism, based on mutual benefit, also fostered cooperation among early hominins. Group selection pressures may have favored cooperative groups over less cooperative ones, driving the evolution of altruism. Early hominin ritualistic behaviors may have served as a form of social bonding and cohesion. These behaviors could have involved rhythmic movements and vocalizations, potentially precursors to dance and song. Simulated rituals can provide insights into the cognitive and social capabilities of early hominins. Understanding these behaviors helps reconstruct the evolutionary origins of human culture and social structures. Symbolic thinking involves the ability to use symbols to represent objects, people, and events that are not immediately present. Early hominin development of symbolic thinking is a key area of research in understanding cognitive evolution. Piaget's theory suggests symbolic thinking develops through stages, from sensory motor to pre-operational. Vygotsky's sociocultural theory emphasizes the role of social interaction and cultural tools in the development of symbolic thought. The development of symbolic thinking is linked to the emergence of language and complex communication systems. Symbolic play, such as using objects to represent other things, is an important indicator of symbolic thinking abilities. Early hominins altered landscapes through the use of tools. Stone tools facilitated the clearing of vegetation for resource access. Resource management involved controlled burning to promote new growth. Hominins constructed simple shelters using available materials. Water sources were modified to improve accessibility and storage. These landscape modifications supported early hominin survival and development. Environmental impact assessments simulate the effects of hominin activities on ancient ecosystems. Simulation parameters include hominin population size, tool use, and resource consumption rates. Deforestation, hunting practices, and water usage are key factors in assessing environmental changes. The simulation models track vegetation changes, animal population dynamics, and soil erosion over time. Data visualization reveals the long-term consequences of early hominin activities on biodiversity. These simulations provide insights into sustainable resource management practices for early hominin societies. Early hominins adapted to long-term climate changes through various strategies. One key adaptation was dietary diversification, including the consumption of a wider range of plants and animals. Technological innovation, such as the development of stone tools, aided in acquiring and processing new food sources. Social cooperation and knowledge sharing facilitated survival in changing environments. Increased mobility and migration allowed hominins to follow resources and avoid resource scarcity. These adaptive strategies collectively enhanced the resilience and survival of early hominin populations. Resilience modeling assesses the ability of early hominin populations to withstand environmental stresses. Sustainability modeling evaluates the long-term viability of hominin populations within their ecosystems. Environmental challenges include climate change, resource scarcity, and habitat loss. Modeling helps predict population responses to future environmental changes. Understanding resilience and sustainability is crucial for interpreting hominin adaptation and survival. Intergroup competition among early hominins involved contests for essential resources. Territorial disputes were a common form of intergroup competition, influencing hominin migration patterns. Competition for resources and territory directly impacted the survival and reproductive success of early hominin groups. Simulations provide insights into the dynamics of intergroup competition and its effects on hominin evolution. Cultural transmission involves the mechanisms by which information, skills, and technologies are passed between individuals within a group. Observational learning, a key mechanism, involves acquiring new behaviors by watching and imitating others. Teaching, another mechanism, involves active instruction and demonstration to facilitate learning in others. Imitation fidelity affects the rate and accuracy of cultural transmission, influencing the evolution of technologies. Social learning biases, such as prestige bias, influence who individuals choose to learn from, affecting the spread of innovations. Cumulative cultural evolution results from the accumulation of modifications and improvements over generations, leading to increasingly complex technologies. Early hominins relied on landscape features for navigation and survival. Spatial memory allowed hominins to remember the location of resources and potential dangers. Repeated journeys reinforced neural pathways, creating a cognitive map of the environment. Observational learning facilitated the transmission of landscape knowledge between generations. The ability to learn and remember landscapes provided a significant evolutionary advantage. Spatial cognition involves the mental processes used to perceive, store, and navigate within environments. Early hominins likely relied on spatial cognition for foraging, hunting, and avoiding predators. One theory suggests hominins developed cognitive maps to represent and remember spatial layouts. Another theory emphasizes route-based navigation, where hominins memorized sequences of movements and landmarks. The place cell theory proposes that specific neurons fire when an animal is in a particular location. Understanding spatial cognition in early hominins provides insights into the evolution of human intelligence and behavior. Early hominins began exploring new habitats, driven by environmental changes and population pressures. Adaptation to novel environments required hominins to develop new survival strategies and behaviors. Tool use became increasingly important for accessing new food sources and defending against predators in unfamiliar territories. Social cooperation and communication facilitated the exploration and colonization of new habitats. The exploration of new habitats led to the dispersal of hominin populations across diverse geographical regions. Niche construction theory explores how organisms modify their environments, influencing their own and other species' evolution. Early hominins actively shaped their environments through tool use, fire management, and social structures. These modifications altered selection pressures, driving evolutionary changes in hominin anatomy, behavior, and cognition. Niche construction highlights the active role of organisms in shaping their evolutionary trajectory, rather than passively adapting to pre-existing conditions. Early hominins faced significant challenges from natural disasters such as droughts and floods. Droughts severely limited access to water and food resources, threatening survival. Floods caused habitat destruction and displacement, disrupting established living patterns. Early hominins adapted by migrating to new areas with more reliable resources. Social cooperation and resource sharing became crucial for survival during these crises. Innovative tool use aided in accessing alternative food sources and mitigating the impact of disasters. Early hominins employed various risk management strategies to survive in unpredictable environments. One key strategy involved vigilance and threat detection through heightened sensory awareness. Group living and social cooperation provided a collective defense against predators and resource scarcity. Adaptive tool use and technological innovation were crucial for mitigating environmental risks. Strategic migration and habitat selection allowed hominins to avoid dangerous areas and secure resources. Risk assessment involved evaluating potential threats and developing appropriate responses. Social support networks played a crucial role in mitigating stress and adversity for early hominins. These networks provided shared resources, protection from predators, and cooperative childcare. Strong social bonds enhanced survival rates and promoted the transmission of knowledge and skills. The ability to form and maintain social connections was a key adaptation for early hominins facing environmental challenges. Early hominin societies likely possessed rudimentary understandings of mental health and well-being. Social cohesion and cooperation were crucial for survival, influencing perceptions of mental wellness. Adaptive behaviors, such as tool use and communication, may have contributed to psychological resilience. Environmental challenges and resource scarcity likely impacted mental states and coping mechanisms. Rituals and symbolic practices may have served as early forms of emotional regulation and social support. Theories about mental health in early hominins are largely speculative, based on archaeological evidence and evolutionary psychology. Early hominin groups likely exhibited cultural diversity, influenced by geographic location and resource availability. Cultural variations among hominins could have included differences in tool use, social structures, and communication methods. Simulation of cultural diversity allows for exploration of different hominin adaptations and survival strategies. Understanding cultural diversity in early hominins provides insights into human adaptability and evolutionary pathways. Cultural evolution involves the adaptation of cultural practices to changing environmental conditions. Mechanisms of cultural evolution include variation, inheritance, and selection, analogous to biological evolution. Cultural traits are transmitted through social learning, including imitation, teaching, and emulation. Environmental changes drive cultural adaptation by favoring practices that enhance survival and success. Cultural evolution can lead to both adaptive and maladaptive practices, depending on the selective pressures. Understanding cultural evolution helps explain the diversity of human societies and their responses to global challenges. Early hominin activities significantly altered the environment, leaving a lasting legacy. Deforestation by early hominins led to changes in local ecosystems and increased soil erosion. Controlled use of fire by hominins transformed landscapes and influenced plant distribution. Hunting practices of early humans impacted animal populations and biodiversity. These environmental changes, in turn, influenced subsequent human evolution and adaptation. The long-term impact of early hominin activities continues to shape modern ecosystems. Hominin evolution involves the divergence of humans from apes through a series of key adaptations. Bipedalism, or walking upright, is a fundamental adaptation that distinguishes early hominins. Changes in diet and dentition, including smaller canines and thicker enamel, reflect adaptations to new food sources. Increased brain size and complexity facilitated tool use, social behavior, and cognitive development in hominins. Environmental changes, such as the expansion of grasslands, likely drove many of these evolutionary pressures. The interplay of these factors created a mosaic of evolutionary changes that ultimately led to the emergence of Homo sapiens. Early hominin studies provide insights into human origins and evolutionary pathways. Understanding early hominin adaptations helps contextualize current human challenges. Fossil evidence and genetic analysis are crucial for reconstructing early hominin history. The study of early hominins reveals the long-term impact of environmental changes on human evolution. Early hominin social structures offer insights into the development of human societies. Examining early hominin tool use demonstrates the origins of human technological innovation. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated for more videos.